Alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories simply aren't true without checking facts first. Unfortunately, some platforms and they attempt to control the truth while they believe that this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Because of you, we're in this mess. Forever you will acquiesce. How you love to be deceived. Whatever they tell you, you believe. Dead of sight, dead of mind. News believer, you are blind. Critical thinker, you are not. Never independent thought. Busting through your paradigm. Hypnotized with pantomime. Regurgitating all you hear. Spread your terror, spread your fear. Never your mind to be free. Never your eyes will ever see. Let the brood of tyranny begging for your slavery. They who have remote control, the teach know your very soul. To live to the great deceiver, television watching news believer. Inject your poison where your mask. All they have to do is ask. Never questioning authority. Blindly following like sheep. Yes sir, no sir, free backs full. You television watching fool. Never your mind to be free. Never your eyes will ever see. Let the brood of tyranny begging for your slavery. They who have remote control, the teach know your very soul. Tune into the great deceiver, television watching news believer.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is 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 extremely dangerous to our democracy.
In their world forever locked. Into their world forever boxed. Reality you leave behind. A prisoner of your own mind. Forever you will be deceived. Never, ever to be free. Never your mind to be free. Never your eyes will ever see. Let the brood of tyranny begging for your slavery. They who have remote control, the teach know your very soul. Tune into the great deceiver, television watching news believer. Never your mind to be free. Never your eyes will ever see. Let the brood of tyranny begging for your slavery. They who have remote control, the teach know your very soul. Tune into the great deceiver, television watching news believer.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
What is up, everybody? How's it going? Glad you enjoyed the nice little bit of a morning rock show there with Alex Michael, conspiracy music guru. And today we are going to have a little bit of fun because, well, this is something that, we've all probably been a little bit a part of our lives. And growing up in the space age, right? One of their famous things they did was the space shuttle program. So we're going to be having some fun today. So get ready for the laugh, because I know I am. Because the more I looked into this, the more bullshit it became. We have like one video or a couple videos we're going to watch during this, just kind of give you an idea of the programming and all the other nonsensical rhetoric they like to do. So let's get off with the bang here and go check out what are we going to be talking about? Well, we're going to talk about the Space Shuttle Orbiter. This was a 200, what did they say? I believe it was 200 billion for this project in the course of 30 years. No. Yeah, those fun astronauts. But yeah, here we go. $200 billion for this display of crap. We all seen the videos that Dave Weiss has posted pertaining to the rockets being nothing more than big ass helium balloons, especially this big orange alleged fuel tank and next to the little boosters and whatnot. And thus, the shuttle itself being for just a little model, light metal, light steel. But anyway, it operated between 1977 and 2001. There's all the other orbiters. It was supposed to be used as, a cheap way to be reusing just general materials, less cost, everything of that sort. So they, have a little recyclable shuttle that allegedly is a glider. We all seen gliders, slow moving, graceful in the sky, being either towed up by a plane or pulled on a pulley to, set a few thousand feet up, and it goes and it cruises around. This thing, though, is nothing shy of basically a repurposed, reskinned airliner, essentially. I mean, they're talking about how it's the size, basically like the size of a McDonnell Douglas DC-9. Actually, that's not McDonnell Douglas, but anyway, digress. But we've all seen the video of the 747 like carrying the stupid little space shuttle, as you can see here. Yeah, this is such a joke. I used to have a model of this back in the day when I was still a child, maybe like 6, 7 years old. Yeah, they used it, allegedly to carry payloads. We all remember the supposed Challenger, the alleged Challenger with, these 7 astronauts, these actors that allegedly died. This guy allegedly had his twin brother, has a twin brother, of course, they always do. And they just keep popping up. Yeah, Michael J. Smith, we've seen the video of that. But surfaced like last year before all the idiocy became in America and the world. Yeah, everybody's still alive and well. Most of them even using their same damn names. It's great, right? So there's some fun issues I have with the space shuttle, of course, how it is allegedly a glider. But there's also other parts of the space shuttle which is just freaking hilarious. One of the big ones, though, for me was the actual, the alleged thermal protection that it has underneath for reentry, when it's coming back in with all the joyful actors, and we allegedly just see this glider flying, when you hear the jet engines behind it when it lands. We'll be showing a little video of that, don't worry. Let's see. It's just freaking fallacy after fallacy on this thing. It's just junk. It's utter shit. We have these little forward reaction control thrusters. This is for when it's allegedly in space, navigating and being able to thrust, even though you can't have thrust in a vacuum, violates second law of thermodynamics and all that good fun stuff there. Can't act on a privation, right? Anyway, yeah, and plus you got to think about these thrusters, the aerodynamics, which we will get into a little later here. But yeah, this thing has lasted for 30 years. And in one of the videos here, we're going to talk about it. They even talk about the processing capabilities of the autopilot for this technological wonder that everyone seems to love and adore. It's reminiscent of the Apollo programs. I'll just say that much. Electrical power computer systems. Yeah, the Orbiter's computing system consisted of 5 identical IBM AP-101 avionics computers, which redundantly control the vehicle's onboard systems. These specialized HL programming language was used for other orbiter systems. It was used for the orbiter systems. The processing is less than that of a photo on your phone. It's like 5 megabits. It's retarded. I don't understand how this works. It's kind of like the battery technology of the 70s that we have on Voyager, on the Voyager programs that are past Pluto allegedly, but they can restart after 40 years and garbage of that sort. See the structure. Yes, primarily aluminum alloy. Okay, so we all know aluminum alloy would not be able to stand up to the temperatures of presupposed space. That's one of the many issues I have. They substituted graphite epoxy for aluminum and some structural elements in order to reduce weight. Graphite epoxy essentially is just carbon fiber, carbon reinforced polymer, carbon reinforced plastic, carbon reinforced thermoplastic. Basically, it's just a little overlay of carbon fiber on a polymer, on a plastic of some sort. They use that in the aftermarket communities of cars. Getting the carbon fiber parts in your car. It's essentially the same shit. It's not going to freaking last to anything, but people won't look into that, but whatever. I don't get it. This thing weighs how much again? Yeah, launch mass, 240,000 pounds. And here's the funniest damn thing right here is thermal protection. We'll get into that in just a second. But this landing gear. The landing gear only can come down. There's no mechanisms in order to retract the landing gear in case of anything happens or whatnot, because this thing is an alleged glider. So it's like a one shot. Here we go, and I'm going to get into like all the trajectory, velocities, and everything of that, because it's really ridiculous to think about how this thing could actually exist, being a supposed glider. But anyway, yeah. So the landing gear cannot retract. It only when the doors open, landing bay doors open, they come out. If they can't come out, allegedly there's like a deployable micro charge, whatever, like release a little, there we go, pyrotechnic charges to automatically cut the lock hooks to set the springs to deploy the gear. Give me a break. Navigation lights, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we're also going to be talking about something else that's just as hilarious as this, and that will be the Russians' Buran space shuttle program crap, which they had, which is also hilarious as it sounds. So we're going to talk about some of the other things that were the precursors for space shuttles and everything like that. Some, nostalgic avionics in the form of a few planes. I just wanted to, show the differences and to remember the fact that this thing allegedly can fly, at Mach, 37? Well, that's the escape velocity of Earth. It's about 25 or so thousand miles an hour. They say they only have to go maybe 17,500. That's what it is when it's orbiting, because reasons. This thing is an utter shit joke. Everything about it, to me, you can't help but laugh. because you got to think this thing has tires now, regardless of what gas they fill those things in to whatever pressures they need them to be at. There's no fucking way that these tires are going to be able to withstand the 10 to the negative 17 torr vacuum pressure outside of it. That's just being masonly suspended. It must be pressurized in there, of course, maybe that's how it's done, because space magic and science and such. Shit. But yeah, those tires would have fucking exploded immediately. Yeah, the servings. This is such garbage. Maximum speed 17. Yeah, 27,000 kilometers. Give me a fucking break. Now, here's the thing that really throws me off. The glide ratio. Now, the glide ratio is essentially what an aerial vehicle's slope would be if it was not powered. Velocity over drop and everything like that. Okay. I don't know about you, but something about the physics of nature shows me that for some reason that when you're going faster, you'd be able to create more lift and thus be able to increase your glide ratio. Apparently at this thing, that's subsonic speeds, which is essentially anything below the speed of sound and like above 250 miles per hour. Then you have the supersonic speeds. This is up to like Mach 3. Well, anything from Mach 1 to Mach 3 or so. Then you have your hypersonic, everything like Mach 5 and above. You should be creating a hell of a lot more lift and be able to glide a hell of a lot further. But apparently it goes in reverse for the space shuttle because reasons. Maybe somebody in the chat can help me out with this shit. But it's just freaking hilarious to think that you're losing lift capabilities at higher speeds. But whatever. Yeah. Here's 5 balloons going up, and then we see it land and all these other great, wonderful things. Ooh, we got pictures here. That means it's on its way to becoming reality. Simulated for the actual flight hardware and software system testing and training. Oh, it's so pretty. Orbiter simulator for moving and handling tests. You're gonna laugh when we get to this video here about landing this hunk of junk. Yeah, this first atmospheric free flight in 1977, August 12th. Yeah, just all this wonderful space junk with these space penises flying in the sky and landing. Yeah, this is such utter shit. It makes me sick. And, it sucked. I used to watch this shit. I used to watch this all the time. I was a big freaking NASA fanboy, space lover of all. And then I, 30 years after seeing this live on television, then come back, to an understanding of the Earth not being a spinning space testicle. And you realize that NASA's a bunch of lying sacks of shit, and they're deceiving you on every level possible. And they're just doing it in your face. And you got to think about this too here. Look at this shit. The fact that, see them in flights and videos and such, they're going whatever, if they're, I think it'd be not launched. This is what their attire is. They wear their little blue jumpers here with space and these little motorcycle helmets. And I laugh at this again too, because I used to have the fucking Lego set of the space shuttle. Yeah. And it basically is a complete perfect depiction here. They had little helmets, their little blue suits, and that was it. So we go back here to the space shuttle, and here's the thing I wanted to talk about also was the thermal protection system. Yes, this beauty, this wonderful shit. Remember, it's got to come back to Earth, so it has to be protected. So it's got these silica tiles on it, and this is protecting it from these, 17,500 miles per hour glide slope into Earth's atmosphere. And they're talking about how it's, it's all, basically it's everything you see here that is black, everything that is black. But I always had a question, what about the top here? And we're gonna get into that as well. It's just as comical, actually, if not funnier. So we have these tiles, and these tiles are Li 900 silica compository. They can be heated, 1200 Celsius or roughly 2200 degrees Fahrenheit. Pushed to cold water and suffer no damage. Doesn't talk about like what the alleged space shuttle is doing here. They had to. It's just Okay, I said it was not good for high stress areas like surrounding the landing gear, door, and windows. What about the rest of the fucking plane, huh? That's not a high stress area. But anyway, but here's the funny kicker of it all. Is how are these tiles adhered to the bottom underbelly of the space shuttle? Well, get ready for this. Oh shit! Does it even show here? But these things are glued on. If I can't find it, I'm just going to just say it here. It's fucking glued on. This is a goddamn science project of a 5-year-old. This is retarded. Totally retarded. I cannot believe this heating reentry bullshit that we never see. They show us little crap. Yeah, there we go. Glue right here. Yeah, the silicone rubber glue similar to a common bathtub caulking. So apparently bathtub caulking can save the world. They can stop anything and everything and save. And apparently it can survive this crazy heat too, that, even though the tiles are just a couple inches above it or whatever the hell, I don't know how thick they are, but regardless, it's just utter shit. This is so fucking retarded. Really, it really is retarded. They can put all these names and everything, toughened unipiece fibrous insulation. Of course, I'm sure, he's a little acronym. Let's go in here, your 2 your RSI, which basically just means all you're doing is just using silica compounds and reinforcing it with a little bit of this and that. The guys doing this are not going to alleged space. They're just building it under these conditions, test it to, such and such, and make it stick to the underbelly of a plane, like so quote unquote glider, if you want to believe it's a glider. Yeah, so there's that. What else we got here? Oh yeah, and some of these things. This is what I also learned from another video I was watching about the space shuttle program. Yes, I was watching a lot of this shit. I had to get the information. What are they saying? What's it made of? What's it doing? So we entered this Inconel. I'm sorry, I think that's how it's pronounced. But it is a very hardened metal alloy comprised of what do we got here? Oh, here we go. Composition. But yeah, it's got predominantly nickel with chromium. I believe it's got a little bit of iron, titanium. You can see a few. I don't remember all these. Don't quote me on this. Maybe aluminum. There we go. Yeah. So it's got a whole bunch of these, its properties and whatnot. And this video I was watching, though, it had Adam Savage of Mythbusters and all. I think he's also doing some other busting of getting in trouble for other things. But so the space shuttle had bits of this Inconel X, like 750, I think that's what it's called. But yeah, it had used studs to secure the solid rocket boosters to the launch platform. 8 total studs supported the entire weight of the ready-to-fly the shuttle program. 8 frangible nuts are encased on the outside of the solid rocket boosters. At launch, explosives separated the nuts, releasing the shuttle from the launch platform. Get me a fucking break. So that's apparently where all the space shuttle, all that Inconel is used for. So everything else is just hearsay. Yeah, these are for the engine manifolds. It's like high temperature resistant. It can do a lot of great stuff. Yeah, there it is. Inconel X commonly used with gas turbine components, including blades, seals, and rotors, because it has great properties of resisting heat and such. They talk about how the exhaust valves on the Nanotroy Top Fuel and Funny Car drag engines are made of Inconel. And these are 8,000 or 5,000 to 8,000 horsepower cars going down the quarter mile or all 1,000 feet because I think they restricted it. But at 300 miles an hour, just going full send is ridiculous. So yeah, it does it. BMW uses it, Jaguar, Tesla, fuck him too. Yeah, so there's that one. That's an interesting little bit. There's the little bullshit of the space tiles. Isn't that great? I love it. Oh yeah, here's what I was saying earlier. Remember this wonderful quote unquote picture of crap, infamous Tesla Roadster that we should have, was in a nice little studio production. Oh my God, yeah, people actually believe this shit. Oh, look at that, half the Earth is water. That's cool, right there. Yeah, not a fucking thing. Anyway, but I also noticed, if you can see all the inconsistencies of what alleged space is, what it does, the temperatures, the pressures, let's point out all the shit that should be broken and exploded by now and everything of that sort. So we'll start off with the paint, with the temperatures they allegedly say, and what Elon Musk said about how it is essentially a stock car with this fucking dummy in it. And we have our little CGI background. Such carb. I can't believe people fucking believe this. Let's see. Glass would have shattered. Just everything. Hey, do you notice something here? Oh yeah, tires are still there. I don't even care if they were 0 PSI when it left. Those things would have blown out through the fucking fender, through fucking Mr. Starman. They would have disintegrated immediately. But there is one other big major issue. If you can't tell that this damn thing is a fraud, a fake, a hoax, how does this thing stop? If this is just a car that, Elon Musk probably personally selected, without the rearview mirror, to not have brakes. It's like, look through the spokes of the wheels, and I could see more of the water and the fake earth. This is garbage. So anyway, I'm going to shut up now because we're going to have a little fun and watch a little funny ass video. But yeah, this is ridiculous that people believe this shit. But don't worry, we're going to have fun now because we're going to watch a little video on how to land the space shuttle, because science and shit. This is an abomination as well, but it is comical. So let's get right down to it. Basically, you're gonna have like a little Will Wheaton looking motherfucker. You think of like Star Trek Next Generation. That kid. Yeah. Well, this kind of just watch.
How to land the space shuttle from space. So, quick disclaimer. This talk is only 20 minutes, so I only have time to give you an intuition for how landing works. If you actually want to go fly the real shuttle, please make sure you read the owner's manual. Also, you're going to need a time machine because the last shuttle landed over 5 years ago. They all live in museums now. They're completely unflyable. However, I, like all of you, have been living in a state of denial.
Amongst many other things, like not realizing your Earth's not a spinning space ball, but continue there, Will Wheaton.
For the last 5 years, especially you, Steve Feldman. So in my world, the shuttle still flies, and we're just going to use present tense for this talk. All right, so let's get started. Our goal is to land on a runway at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. But let's say right now we're orbiting over South America, traveling over 17,000 miles in the wrong direction. Well, we can't just turn around. Changing direction in orbit takes crazy amounts of energy.
And he verified that how? I actually sat through this entirety doing my research for this stream because this is just utter fucking garbage. The fact that people believe this is just astounding. It just shocks me to whole new levels. Well, we all went through it. I know. Let's continue on so we can get a good chuckle.
So what do we do? Well, basically nothing. So it turns out that the Earth spins.
Really? Okay, sure, whatever. Believe it there, buddy.
Which means that Kennedy Space Center is just going to come to us if we wait for it.
Oh my God.
So this time around, when we come up to Kennedy Space Center, we're just going to stop. It always does this. So it turns out that we're still traveling over 17,000 miles an hour. To give you some perspective of how fast that is, The runway that we're going to land on is 15,000 feet long. That's about 3 miles or maybe 40 to 45 football fields, depending on what you consider a football field.
Depending if you're actually believing this shit, really. It's boggling my mind, dude. How are you so indoctrinated into this garbage? And talking about it proudly like as if you just went to space. But my God, anyway.
It's one of the longest runways in the world, but at our current speed, we're going to travel the entire length of it in just 0.6 of a second. We could get from New York to London in just 12 minutes. So we need to slow down a lot. Well, the shuttle's got great engines, plenty of power to slow us down with. So let's just fire them up again. Whoa. So this is
bye-bye space balloon.
See, we're sort of out of gas. Womp womp. In our defense, launch is like really expensive. Those 2 boosters on the side.
Yeah. Each launch, during my research, it's about like it was like started off at 1.2 billion and then increased to like 1.5 billion per launch. And there was over 100 launches in 30 years. That's a lot of fucking money. Noticing how I said about 200 billion was used on the launching of this shit. Yeah. Anyway.
They burn 1.1 million pounds or 500,000 kilograms of solid fuel.
I'm sure you verified it and saw that fuel. I'm sure you just smelled it and you got off on it too, right? Anyway.
In just 2 minutes. And then we just throw them away.
Yep. Just like your imagination there, buddy. Just throw it away because you're believing a fantasy world. I can't believe I even used to believe this shit, but this is what would have become me if I, still believe this shit. My God, this is so utterly ridiculous. It's just whatever. We all know all this shit's a big stage. These boosters are picked up in the ocean. So is that bad boy. And this thing's probably still attached to it somewhere, probably underneath it. Oh, actually, no, it's not. It's discarded. It's just fucking space junk for all we fucking know. God, this is so retarded.
That big orange external tank holds another 1.6 million pounds or 725,000 kilograms of liquid fuel for the shuttle's
Yeah, so all of that weight is just flying into the sky sideways because it's going out of reach and it's going to land in the ocean. And this dingus is still going to fucking believe it.
3 main engines. But after an 8-minute launch, those are empty too. So we have to ditch it.
Bye-bye. There goes that bullshit.
All we got left are...
I can't believe people actually believe that there's a little fucking magic little bolt right there attaching to right up around here on the space shuttle. And I guess there's probably a couple other magic bolts over here that not only are, like I said, 240,000 pounds, 240,000 pounds, 120 tons of aircraft being held on by what? Maybe 3 fucking bolts, and people believe this shit. This thing doesn't even look like it's securely planted. What the hell? It looks like a hack job of a weld. Oh, look, here it is. Oh, okay, that looks much better. Yeah, it looks like a little freaking coaster. It looks like a little candle holder on the side of some little stick on a candle. These are fucking candles. Candles with some Harbor Freight connections. It's on a freaking some plastic tubing, some piping. Oh my God, this is retarded.
These wimpy little orbital maneuvering engines, which combined produce less than 1% the thrust of the main engines. They're not going to slow us down 17,000 miles an hour, but there's a trick. We don't.
And I think I just solved my own mystery. When I was talking about the jet fuel hoax and, the engines and everything like that, most likely these 2 little guys, these 1% thrust things, is probably just some quick little turbojet engine underneath here. Of course, this is in space. It's just a fucking model. We've all seen those, and it's freaking a joke. But I digress. Anyway, yeah, we know it's a freaking plane.
Actually have to slow down by that much. If we slow down by just 225 miles an hour, that's enough for us to start falling into the atmosphere, where air resistance can do the rest of the work.
Give me a break.
So
and you're flying backwards.
Burn which lasts about 3 minutes with our
Of
orbital
course, you
maneuvering
know, 'cause it
engines.
takes 3 minutes to
After
fucking
that,
rotate this
we're
piece
just
of
going
shit
to
in the
coast for
vacuum of
about a
space.
half hour
Come
before we reach the
on.
atmosphere. But we can't go in the atmosphere backwards. First off, we would look ridiculous. But
You look ridiculous for believing this shit, dude.
possibly more importantly, the air resistance is so great that we
God.
would essentially melt. So we pitch
Oh,
up
my
to
head
40 degrees
hurts.
angle of attack.
But
That's the angle
this
between where your
is the
velocity
shit
is
that
taking
we
you
were told
versus
as
where your
children,
nose
remember?
is pointed. At
That
this
they already knew
angle,
40%,
our
on a
easily meltable
globe,
aluminum
too.
airframe can be protected
The velocity's this
by
way,
over
though.
20,000 silica tiles.
Yeah, those silica tiles, remember what I said? Glued on. Glued on with bathroom caulking. And up here, oh yeah, I forgot to go into this. There looks like little like sheet of fiber type thing. It basically is like Nomex. So fire retard resistant cloth that they use on the alleged like on like race car drivers, on that kind of shit to protect from fire. And there's like, it's just like cloth overlays on top of, you know, this aluminum shit. This is retarded. My God. It never ends, but we continue.
As well as these reinforced carbon-carbon panels on the nose and the leading edge of the wings. Fun fact, the surfaces of the orbiter, which don't get as hot, are covered by these thermal blankets, as well as a Nomex felt fabric that goes over the wings and the payload doors. It's really nothing like a normal airplane.
But
I
know, it's a fucking model.
So if
it's
all went
bullshit.
well, we should hit the first traces of the atmosphere at 400,000 feet and about 5,000 miles from our landing site. This is all good, but after a few minutes...
Wait, but didn't you say there earlier, chap, that the Earth is rotating? So they're trying to chase after the rotation of the Earth? Interesting. Anyway.
There starts to be a little bit of a problem.
Of course.
We've got wings.
Barely.
And wings generate lift. And as we get into denser air, they generate so much lift that we're actually going to start to go back up and skip off the atmosphere. This is kind of bad.
This is
really
kind of
want to keep going
retarded.
down. So we could just pitch up. That would create more drag and less lift. But we risk overheating, overstressing, or just outright losing control of the orbiter. So we can't change our angle of attack, which means we can't change how much lift we generate. However, we can.
Remember how I was saying that apparently at higher speeds, it creates less lift? Keep that in mind. This is Sofa King retarded. My God. It's even more retarded to see this guy believing everything that he is saying, because science and NASA, they would never lie to you and blah, blah, blah. But my God.
Can change which way it points. It doesn't have to point up. If we roll to the right or left, we can point our lift sideways instead of up.
Fucking really?
Well, this will effectively let us control how fast we're descending. With a steeper bank angle, we're going to generate less upward lift, so we're going to descend faster.
So let's get this straight here. You're also flying at a 40-degree angle of attack, but if that's not good enough, we have to halfway roll the plane. So what, we're gonna like be a knife cutting down straight through the earth here? The hell? This is such garbage. And he believes it, of course. This unsuspecting doofus, this NASA fanboy. Oh God. Anyway.
Conversely, with a shallow bank angle, we're going to generate more upward lift, so we're not going to fall as fast. But that brings up an interesting question of how fast do we want to descend? Well, reentry is basically a big energy management problem. We have a lot of velocity and a lot of distance to cover. So the goal is to bleed off that velocity at just the right rate so that we cover the right distance. If we slow down too fast, we won't make it to the landing site.
Cartoons, into the water we go.
If we don't slow down
just
fast
like real
enough,
life.
we'll shoot right past the Kennedy Space Center and crash out in the Atlantic Ocean, which is also bad. So in order to control descent, we figured out that we just need to change our bank angle.
Of course.
But how do we control deceleration, how fast we're slowing down?
Oh, this is the
Well,
best
remember
part.
that the whole reason we're slowing down in the first place is because we're running into the air. So if we want to slow down faster, what we really need is more air. And where is there more air? Well,
why they have the big
lower in the atmosphere.
flat
The atmosphere
end
gets
of the
denser as
fucking
you go
front
down.
end of this thing. It's for
So in a
that
sense,
reason.
we kind of already did
But
figure out
anyway.
the right tools to control deceleration.
a
Because
break.
if we bank heavier, that means we're going to descend faster, as we already know. So we're going to reach
Such
thick air
garbage.
faster. And the thick air is
Such
going to help us slow
garbage.
down faster. Conversely, if we bank shallower, then we're not going to descend as fast. So we're going to stay in the thin air longer, which means we're not going to slow down as fast.
It's just cartoons,
So,
too. Nothing but cartoons.
There's just one last problem. We're kind of starting to turn.
And
the
we're
bank
doing
angle
all
thing
these
isn't
crazy...
working out as
Look
well
at
as
this
we
thing.
originally hoped.
It's a fucking cartoon.
So NASA goes to its engineers and says, this is a really big problem. We can't just land in Panama. And the engineers say, we'll just turn the other way. This isn't rocket science.
No, it isn't. It's deception, but you believe it. You fucking idiot.
Why are you wasting our time, Steve?
Oh,
So,
God, so painful.
Granted, this creates kind of this weavy S-turn
But we used to
re-entry
believe it
path,
too.
but it works.
Oh, give me
So
a
before we go
fucking
any further,
break. So now you did a fly
let's review what
drunk?
we just learned. So we start with our deorbit burn, and that lasts for about 3 minutes. After that,
that's what
we
they say. I can
coast
remember
towards the
facts
atmosphere.
too.
And while we do that, we pitch up to the 40 degrees angle of attack, so our heat shield can protect us.
Oh, really?
Once we get into the atmosphere, we control
we all see
everything
that.
with bank angle.
Mhm.
If it looks like we're going to overshoot the runway, then we bank heavier
Oh,
so
of
that we
course.
slow down faster. And if it looks like we're going to not make it,
it's
then
a
we bank less so
frickin'
we don't
brick.
slow down as fast. And also,
And we'll
every
get
time
into
we
that
get
too.
turned
Don't
too
worry.
far away from our target, we just turn the other way in this series of what's called roll reversals.
Of course. Reverse.
That's what NASA calls it.
Because NASA, science.
This is the reentry, a picture of the reentry.
This is the picture. I'm sure it's from the ISS. This is fucking garbage. What is this? Looks like one of their fucking launches, right? You know, it just goes up and down. This is retarded. This is so fucking retarded. Oh my God. Oh, here's our atmosphere. Yep. Yeah. Sure. I've seen this on the planet. It's like they just added this in. And what the fuck's going on over here? What is this shit? Good Lord.
Of STS-135, the last space shuttle. Something interesting about these reentry flames, that's not technically fire, although it
course
kind of looks
not.
like it. It's essentially a...
It looks like a fucking cartoon, you dipshit. Good Lord. Anyway, you believe it though, because science, and it was supposed to be taken from the ISS, which is also zooming around at 17,500 miles an hour and able to get a perfect shot. No distortions whatsoever, of course, you know, because science and reasons.
really hot gas that's so hot that electrons break away from their atoms and molecules.
Ouch. This guy is dumb.
And they start to glow this soft orange color.
If you believe that what we're seeing here is real and happening live as it happens, well, not live as it happens, but as it happened, allegedly, of course. What the fuck? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I just put a big old light in front of the freaking, oh God, testing facility here, and boom. Hey, we're good to go. Rock on.
It's a different state of matter called plasma, which even if you've never heard of it,
17,000 miles an hour, don't feel a fucking
science,
thing. And you
lightning,
can
most
move
importantly,
perfectly
the sun
fine at
is
this
a
speed. I
big
didn't even
glowing ball of
realize that.
plasma.
You're so
Now, as we
violently
slow down, we
shaking
get
out
less
a
of this
machine
plasma,
just
and
for
we have less
glasses.
heat, so we're less
Give me a
concerned about
break.
melting. But we get more and more concerned with just falling out of the air. We really need to transition from
Yeah,
spaceship
we're getting to that later
airplane.
too.
So
Son of a fucking
at 8,000 miles an hour, we start bringing the nose down,
Oh, of
lowering our
course.
angle of attack. Then
course.
at 1,700 miles an hour, we switch into a completely different guidance mode called Terminal Area Energy Management, or TAME. Now we're flying like an airplane, a really bad airplane.
Yeah, here we go.
With
This
no
is
engines,
great.
but
Allegedly.
we sort of function like an airplane.
No, we don't.
We pitch to control our descent rate. We bank to turn. And we've also got this speed brake thing that can open and close to help us control our airspeed.
Yeah, but that's also
So
for
also up to
turning.
this
but
point,
whatever.
we've been running on autopilot.
Oh,
An
God,
autopilot
yes.
run by
Let's not forget about
5
this.
of these redundant computers,
Here we go.
each with a whole megabyte of memory.
Woo! Well, I was even off.
You couldn't even fit a single cell phone photo on one of
There's
these.
5 of these.
But
So
it was
5
pretty good flying
megabytes.
shuttle.
5.
But as we get to
5. You can't put a fucking picture, but it's being perfectly guided from the fathoms of space, low Earth orbit of allegedly 250 miles. And this thing is just going. Give me on autopilot too, nonetheless. Oh.
towards the runway, the commander takes over manual flying. And this mode is called CSS, for Control 6 Steering, not Cascading Style Sheets. Granted, the shuttle is fly-by-wire, which actually means that the
You know what's
computers
funny is the fact
run
that this is
everything
at
all the
1
time.
1/4 speed.
Even in CSS,
And he sounds
it's
normal.
really just the computer pretending to let the humans fly,
Give me a break.
just like normal life.
Just like people
Side
who
note,
think that they're actually
No shuttle
believing this
pilot
nest
wants to
of
be called a
crap.
co-pilot.
Oh my God.
That's just insulting.
Oh, of
so in
course.
the left seat, we've got the commander who does the flying. And in the right seat, we've got the pilot, not flying. I'm not totally convinced that NASA doesn't just do this to confuse the media, because it works.
No, well, they do that as well as confusing your dumbass into believing that they are actually going to and back from space. Not only that, traversing the low Earth orbit at 17,500 miles an hour and a 10 to the negative 17 torr vacuum with alleged thrusters to adjust its pitch angle. And this not to line up perfectly with a apparent flying space station that has been up there for allegedly 20 or so years, with no video of it being built, of course. But hey, you know, science, reasons.
Really well.
Fucking Christ.
But back to Tame. So Tame actually flies us past the runway center line and then around this imaginary spiral called the heading alignment cone. If all goes well, we should be lined up with the runway and on glide slope by 10,000 feet in altitude. Of course, if we were a typical air...
Did I mention that he was talking about how this thing is slowing down from 8,000 miles an hour with those tiny ass stubby little wings, all that weight, and the flaps the size of my laptop, it seems like. Well, depth wise, yeah, maybe extending out 20, 30 feet. So yeah, it could slow down some. The tail could slow down some, but that's a lot of weight you got to be stopping at that high rate of speed and that low of time. I think he's also going to talk about the glide slope as differentiating between that a normal commercial airliner versus the flying garbage can.
Airliner on glide slope would mean a 3-degree descent path flown at about 160 miles an hour with a descent rate of about 750 feet per minute.
Now, we all know what that feels like if you've flown. We know when you feel the plane slowing down, when it's getting the air brakes out, lowering the flaps. We could feel the descent. We could feel us descending at, you know, a comfortable speed. But let's also remember the fact that in the heliocentric nonsensical model, not only that, we also have to descend a mile every minute at normal cruising speeds, but we don't feel because we're not going down a curve of a convexing ball of water. Yeah, but so we have this rough estimate here. Okay, 160 miles an hour, 750 feet per minute. Not too shabby. We feel it. We don't feel that freaking curve, perpetual curve that we're supposed to be feeling on the spinning Earth model. But anyway, I digress.
But that's not going to work for us. The shuttle has stubby little wings and a big, fat, round nose. It's affectionately referred to as a flying brick. NASA astronauts train in a modified Gulfstream II jet, which, in order to simulate how unaerodynamic the shuttle is, flies with its landing gear down and its engines in reverse. So we're going to need a bit more brick-friendly glide slope of 20 degrees, flown at 345 miles an hour, with a descent rate over 10,000 feet per minute. To give you some context of how fast a descent rate that...
Yeah, get ready for this. This is a good one. Remember, 750 feet per minute, 10,000 feet per minute. That's double what you're supposed to do on the alleged curve of the ball Earth. Okay, this is almost double. All right, because you have to go about a mile down. All right, this is 10,000 feet, roughly almost 2 miles every minute. You are fucking falling. You aren't flying. You are falling. But anyway,
that is 10,000 feet per minute is about 120 miles an hour. That's terminal velocity for a skydiver in free fall.
Yeah, shows you. That thing is not a freaking glider. That's a freaking rock with the illusion of wings. With 6 to 7 idiots allegedly inside it on this little joyride, non-powered. Give me a fucking break.
Now, obviously, we can't land like that. So at 2,000 feet, we start pitching up to bring the nose up in what's called a pre-flare maneuver. This trades the...
But they also said that, actually, they'd say it gains a little bit of extra glide ratio. It gains glide rate. It gains the lift to drag ratio improves for the space shuttle as the speed decreases, which I do not fucking understand, but whatever, science and reasons. It goes completely back asswards of physics, but
energy that we have in the form of airspeed in exchange for slowing our crazy descent rate. The landing gear comes down at 300 feet. We wait until this last minute because the gear creates a lot of drag, and once lowered in flight, it can't be raised again. We cross the runway at just 26 feet, airspeed bleeding off like crazy. We touch down at 225 miles an hour.
Airspeed bleeding like, okay, you got your little air brake up here. Why aren't your flaps down? Such garbage.
The drag chute is deployed. The nose gear is gradually lowered down. Just an hour and 5 minutes since we performed our
flaps aren't even fucking
on the
down.
other side of the planet.
How's this thing?
We've landed the space shuttle.
Oh,
from
shut
space.
up, Will Wheaton.
Obviously. Where else would you land it?
Oh my god. I don't know. Maybe the sky, and they just put a fucking jet-powered anomaly up there.
I'll leave you with what this looks like from the pilot's perspective.
Oh god.
Because I'm a pilot, and I think
a really
this is the
dumb
coolest
one,
thing
obviously.
ever.
If you're believing this
Of course,
shit.
no one I've ever shown it to also agrees that it's the coolest thing ever, but I'm hoping Steve will.
Oh,
this is the night landing of SES-115. We are flying around the heading alignment.
And you know what, guys?
Right,
I'm not gonna let you bore you to death with this shit because honestly, I've had enough of this fucker. So with that, we are going to move on to what I was going to talk about, the landing. Yeah, there we go. Science! Yes, exactly, Brian. Science. It's all the sciencey shit that we can get. We are going to watch, another cringy here. Or I'll speed through this here and there because this is just garbage as always. So with that, we're gonna this thing for sure, and we're gonna watch freaking space shuttle supposedly land. Remember, this is at 1.25 speed, so sorry, but just listen to what they say about the altitudes, the speeds, and then we'll listen to when it lands to kind of give it an idea of this hunk of garbage is actually doing. All right, here we go.
Good view of Discovery here, still 73 miles away from Kennedy Space Center.
Okay, 73 miles
15
away.
miles up.
And it's 15 miles up too, and they got a perfect view. This is what you get from a plane flying at 6 miles or less. Give me a break. 15 miles? You can't see shit. I mean, the little balloon, the Saddle-loons, is that door open on the fucking thing? Then it just closed and it just kind of pitched it, whatever. Yeah, the Saddle-loons are like, what, 15, 20 miles, and always use a bright light. This, apparently, we can get a nice, clear shot of the space shuttle. You'd think that the underside would be kind of glowing red, considering it just fell from space at 17,500 miles an hour. Or, I'm sorry, 17.2, because it had to slow down so the gravity can do its magical things of stuff. This is, here we go. Yeah, really? Give me a break. This... God, they make everything look like a freaking penis around this in the space program, don't they? They love their dog symbols.
Leading towards the runway that's created by the microwave scan beam landing system. That allows the commander and pilot to guide the vehicle as it makes its final approach to run.
And we do remember that 5 megabits of that processing power that has for the autopilot.
Runway 33 at Kennedy Space Center. There, the commander will take runway 33.
Oh my god.
The controls of
runway 333.
As it's reach subsonic sounds.
Oh no, it's under it's in 2 minutes. Well, 2.5 minutes, almost 3 minutes here. Sorry. This thing has slowed down from what the Will Wheaton kid said, about 8,000 miles an hour. So what we're probably seeing right here at allegedly 15 miles up, down to here, and it's at subsonic speeds. Actually, they have the subsonic speeds, based, like I said, anything, oh shit, I think I had it wrong. Transonic, that's up to 250 miles an hour. You have subsonic, it's retarded either way. It's slowed down to under 700 miles an hour from 8,000 in 2.5 fucking minutes. Give me a break. Yeah, a little bit of garbage. Garbage. Ooh, look at that.
530 miles per hour.
Ooh, it's a 530 miles an hour. Ooh. Look at those flaps. It's a fucking glider. little remote controlled thing with some jet engines.
Pilot Jim Dutton now taking over controls of the shuttle for a moment.
Oh,
That call from Capcom Rick Sturko indicates the shuttle
Ready to
has
scratch
180
his ass or
degrees to
something,
go in
right?
its turnaround
Take it over.
toward runway 33.
Such garbage.
All continuing to look good on board Discovery as it makes its way home.
Oh, shit. Is it 5 o'clock yet?
68 miles to go.
I need a drink for
Currently
this shit.
3 miles in altitude. And traveling 420 miles per hour.
You are on at the 90.
On
at the 90.
And Commander Alan Poindexter now back in control of Space Shuttle Discovery.
Give me a break.
Just 2 minutes now until touchdown.
Oh my God. This is real. This is real, allegedly. Look at this crap. Please. Look at the fucking jet streams coming. No, that's right. My bad.
Runway in sight.
That's bleeding
Roger.
air.
Less than a minute and a half until touchdown. Discovery is now descending at a rate 20 times higher and 7 times steeper than what a commercial airline
condensation is being used, which
experience on
would
its
mean
final
there has to
approach.
be some kind. Who knows? Oh, going in the haze. Give me a break. Yep, there's your little glider, allegedly, with the jet engines
1
in
minute
there.
past touchdown.
In case
Discovery's
in
landing gear
there,
will
I
be
know they
locked
are.
down and into place at 300 feet in altitude.
Oh, it's 300 feet already. Man, this thing just does magical things.
It's currently 3,500 feet.
Fucking break.
And
it is a break.
traveling at a rate of 370 miles per hour.
Remember, it's like double that of a landing on a. Oh, granted, it's a 1 1/4 speed. I get
until
it. Sorry.
touchdown.
So, but it's still flying ridiculously fast for a landing. Okay, this is ridiculous. You can hear it. You can hear the jet engines on this thing as it lands.
Main gear.
Give me a break. That is
Landing gear now down and locked.
it's a glider, and I got a bridge to tell you. Give me a break. This is garbage. Oh my God.
Main gear touchdown.
What a fucking
Jim Dutton
load
now on the
of
track.
shit. Oh my God. So retarded. So
Nose gear
retarded.
touchdown.
If anything, what you will
That brings
see,
you
I
to the
believe.
STS-131 mission.
Yeah, you can see the
131st
thermal
space shuttle flight
patterns
of
coming from the
33rd
back.
to the International Space Station.
It's a fucking jet. Come
Discovery
on,
left
people.
Florida on April 5th with 7.
Oh, holy fuck knuckles. My God. Yeah. So this is reality, allegedly. So let's get into that whole lift to drag ratio. So as mentioned here, they talk about how this thing is a glider. I don't know how people could believe that. Here we have the Wright brothers testing their gliders in 1901 and 1902 on the right there. But look at the design features. You'll see it's a commonality amongst most gliders. Yeah, the drag, it's part of the 3 principles of as a plane glides, how you figure out its drag ratio. It's lift to drag ratio or its glide ratio. Let's see. But with greater wing loading, the maximum lift drag ratio occurs at a faster airspeed. So, like I said beforehand about the physics of the space shuttle, you would have a better lift to drag ratio at a faster airspeed, which they were saying. This is so retarded that people, it's supersonic, hypersonic, blah blah blah. So we're gonna get some examples of some lift to drag ratios here. We have a house sparrow. This little guy here is 4-to-1. We have a herring gull, your typical gull. Assholes they usually are. Common tern. Little seabird, yeah. Majestic, subarctic regions of Europe. Ooh. We have an albatross, those big bad boys. They fly around. We have the Wright brothers plane. And a little aforementioned there, the glider they were making in the early 1900s. We have a Boeing 747, which used to be carrying this alleged space shuttle. We have a 17-to-1 in cruise. This is in cruise, of course. The lift to drag ratio. Same with the Airbus A380, everyone's favorite double-decker monstrosity. We have the Concorde takeoff, landing at 4-to-1, increasing to 12-to-1 at 0.95 and 7.5 at Mach 2. So maybe I am retarded, but it seems kind of weird. At takeoff and landing, it's 4-to-1, increasing to 12-to-1. So it increases speed. It's just under Mach 1 here, but then it drops down a little bit at Mach 2. Well, I kind of see why that's because at that time it's higher altitudes. I guess that makes sense. I'm just getting retarded. So, but either way, so is the whole space shuttle program. And we have helicopters, 4.5 to 1. A Cessna 172, basically your average almost training plane of all time, 10.9 to 1. A cruising Lockheed U-2. Everyone's, these things have been around for almost 100 years, not 100 years, but pretty damn close. Actually, it's about 60 years, but still, either way, 25.6 to 1. That's like old school gliders, the old wooden things. The Rutan Voyager. This guy was, Gina Yeager. Oh yeah, she was like the daughter or something of Chuck Yeager, the guy who flew fast speed of sound for the first time. But anyway, this thing flew around the world. Then you had the Virgin Atlantic Global Flyer, 37 to 1. See, look at the commonalities here. That looks the same as like the Voyager thing, just big long wing, little fuselage tail. It's just trying to create enough glide, so it needs minimal power to stay afloat, stay aloft, and everything. It's wonderful. It's cool as hell. And computed aerodynamic characteristics at cruise. So here we go. A list of planes. We've already gone through a few of them. You have your Boeing 777, 19.3, even an old school L-1011 at 14.5, DC-10 at 13.8. Yeah, not the most efficient, but still better than your stupid freaking space shuttle. So we also have a little bit more. The gliding flight, aircraft as gliders, military gliders like these. This is what I was talking about, like the old kind of wooden glider type shit. This is what they did back in the day. We have that. Radio control gliders. Are we seeing all the common-ish things here? Very slim, narrow body, tail, some kind of form of ailerons, stabilizers here and there, but nice, long, thin wings because they reduce drag but create plenty of awesome lift. Rocket glider, yeah, we just saw that. Wingsuit, yeah, those are kind of funny. Never really thought about flying, or not really flying, be more like falling less fast. Seen enough of those videos. Then we have experiment. Motor gliders. I'll show a picture of that. No. Anyway, basically, think about that. Let's see. Paraglider, speed glider. No. Air parachute. But all these things. Maybe this will. There we go. So a power glider is essentially this guy. They usually have like a little. They have a small engine that pops up from behind the pilot, little cockpit there. Flight deck, whatever. We have a whole bunch of other animals, albatross, condor, eagle, the frigate bird, and the stork. All these wonderful creatures, fishes, amphibians, all the little forces that act upon them. Lift drag, blah blah blah. Glide ratio. Lift drag is like tangent of downward angle, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, you use a little bit of math here and you come up with your glide ratio. So again, we'll revisit this. This is going to be funny, a little hilarious for all. I actually remember reading about this one, the Gimli glider. That was due to fuel exhaustion, more or less. The guys filling the planes did not fill enough because there was a conversion issue with kilograms to pounds. Some got fucked up, and the thing had a glide, but it still had a 12 to 1 glide ratio. A hang glider is 15 to 1. It doesn't have any power. The bird, the frigate bird, 15 to 21. Typical speeds. All these wonderful little things here, right? A helicopter in auto rotation. So I guess if the propellers are kind of just autonomously spinning, and that's it. Powered parachute, 3.6 to 5.6. Space shuttle from space after re-entry. Unpowered, of course. 4.5. I swear there was more of this bullshit. Oh, we have our Apollo reentry. I can't be all fucking. This is garbage. Hypersonic 1.8. That, like I said, speeds over Mach 5. Ooh. But these animals, these creatures, creations of the Creator, have a better lift ratio than this stupid monstrosity of a glider. And here's, escape velocity, all these things, but apparently that magic bolt can hold it while they're trying to travel 25,000 miles an hour, increasing speed, heat, all those wonderful things that people didn't think about, I guess. They forget the fact that this crap is flying. What was this? Oh, this is funny shit. This is more of the magical garbage of the magic bolt in action.
Firm.
Yeah. Oh, we got concave Earth, and we got. Oh, it's flat. Now it's concave, and oh shit, right? Oh, better switch the cameras. It's concave now.
The onboard guidance system has done its job of settling out any of the dispersions that have been introduced at the booster.
This is so garbage. There was another bit. It was. Is it here?
580 miles away from the Kennedy Space Center at an altitude of 340,000
feet. 1, 2, 3. We have all these little circle jerking over
Atlantis
this
can reach orbit on one engine now,
right
should
now.
two fail. However, all three are still in good shape. The Atlantis is traveling 15,500 miles per hour.
So these tiles are missing.
8 minutes into the flight, downrange 740 miles, at an altitude of 64 miles.
Oh, are they burning out? Eco?
Oh my god. Oh, don't worry. There we go. Oh, here's the magic. It's going to happen here, guys. Hold on. Get ready for this shit.
Firm standing by for separation from the external fuel tank.
There they go. 2 seconds. Here we go. Get ready for this garbage. Here we go, folks. Okay, watch that. Oh, there's like a little knob falls down, and that holds the whole fucking thing. Oh my god. Whew. Isn't this fun? My God. Okay, now we're going to enter into something a little more of a Russian persuasion. The Buran was their Russia's failed attempt of a space shuttle program. I know you can see the similarities. It looks basically identical because it essentially it is. This thing was NASA's competitor, back, the day when, Cold War was on the rise. People were scared because the Americans have a space shuttle. They could drop nuclear arms from afar on old Russian soil. It would not be good. And so they came up with this hunk of junk, because, God damn, it's so retarded. They were actually going to try to make this thing, like, somehow make it to the fucking moon, I think, too. It's retarded. Here's another shot. Yeah, same principle here. It is a space shuttle on an Antonov AN-225, because Mother Russia, we make everything bigger than Texas. That's how we do it. It's the freaking largest damn cargo plane ever, but I digress. We're going to hear some interesting, fun stuff. This is all in Russian, unfortunately. But when I was saying about, how you hear the commonalities about the whole bullshit space thing here. We're going to get into, this is like them in a little training module, flight trainer. They will be doing it in the real thing. It's amazing how you have an artificial horizon. I think you're just be going to space. How does the fuck does that thing work? Anyway, maybe because it's an airplane.
Могут чрезвычайно усложнить задачи пилотирования.
Yes, that's sweet soothing sound of the Russians.
Системы управления в автоматическом режиме посадки отрабатывались на летающих лабораториях. Самолетах Ту-154, специально переоборудованных так, что они довольно близко по своим аэродинамическим и динамическим характеристикам соответствовали Буран.
Okay, so they're flying this.
Место правого пилота переоборудовано в рабочее место пилота Бурана с его приборами и органами управления. У левого пилота для безопасности полета органы управления штатного варианта Ту-154.
Yeah, they did. Okay, never mind. Okay, so this is the Buran. They're in, allegedly. Get ready for this shit. It's just comical.
Окончательная отработка программы автоматической посадки проводилась в полетах на самолете аналоге Бурана.
Instruments that make no sense on a fucking alleged space. They got 12.
Это тот же буран, но
Yeah, so
оснащенный
they put
4 турбореактивными.
all the engines on it. They're not gonna hide shit. You know, we're gonna beat the Americans. We're gonna fucking actually put jet engines and fly under its own power. It's Russian, you know it's better, right?
Двигателями и несколько измененным шасси, позволяющими по самолетному взлетать и набирать
So,
высоту для
along
того,
with
чтобы
this
по
thing,
необычно крутой глиссаде отрабатывать
hey,
посадку.
the Russians could at least make retractable freaking landing gear. Give them props there. And there we have a flying tin can for a flat horizon. This thing has to have a serious angle up, nose up attack just for freaking normal flight. And I know during the space shuttle launches and such, they had to do the same thing, have, you know, little chase planes like, oh, I forget what they're called, like F-1s, not F-117, but whatever. But yeah, it's like, that sounds quite familiar. Like the space shuttle landing too. They usually had those planes fly nearby to kind of prevent it from being detected that the fact that it is in fact a jet airplane being flowing and deceiving people.
Окончательная проверка взаимодействия систем бортового и посадочного комплексов
проводилась. And I think that concludes the video on the Buran. But yeah, apparently this thing did a one flight wonder, or 2 flights. Hang on a second. And here I am back again. Hey everybody, how's it going? Yeah, sorry, I've been slacking here, not saying anything. I've just been mostly talking. So I wanted to at least say hi to everybody in the chats that I can, and see how it's going. I see Flat Accord Music. What's up, Paul? PRD004. Mia Waters above. Nachiketa, what's up, brother? Paul Capello. Libra Laura. Francis Sage. Young Love 4020. Singe Man. Salted Cedar. Brian S. Juan Torres, what's up, brother? My God, I haven't believe I modded you yet. What the fuck's wrong with me? There we go. Because you're a badass. And plus the fact I've met you. Mad Pie Man. You know what? Yes, you are added to. Sorry, I'm doing things on the fly right now. Waters above. I already said that. Kelly Fe. Hey, lady. Who else we got? Mad Pie Man. What the hell is it? See, 1:20 p.m. It's going to be, what? Midnight for you? Something like that? Anywho. Oh, yeah, and I am High Degree. What's up? What's we got? All right. And Brian, of course. Brian rocks. Anyway, we are going to continue on down. Oh, we had one guy. Anywho, what's up, Steve? Yeah, I forgot you were in the chat earlier. And of course, you're going to be added too because, again, oh, hello, Deutschland, flatten dismir. Yeah, yes, Pony. Because that's how it rolls here. Because we're going to go continue on here. Don't worry. I just need, what are we looking for? Okay, so we have covered quite a bit of information on the bullshit space shuttle and the Russian counterpart. Yeah, so that Russian space thing, the Buran, it also it does so many wonderful things. It actually flew on autopilot the entirety of this damn thing. It flew its mission for 3 hours, allegedly in space, low Earth orbit. And it landed just like a couple meters off from its intended trajectory. It's fucking funny as hell, right? So yeah, and then it basically ended, and it gets funnier too. There's more injury to insult, or insult to injury here. It was stored away in a big like warehouse type deal, and I guess the rain in Russia collapsed the roof. Unfortunately, it also killed 8 construction workers that were working there, trying to get everything all looking halfway decent and clean, blah, blah, blah. So we are going to, let's say, don't need that. Oh God, yeah, get ready for this shit. This is gonna make you laugh. I'm just gonna get ready. Where are we going here? All right. Is that it? Yes, okay. Anywho, we're gonna go back to a full screen share here, and we're gonna have some fun because guess what? We're gonna have here's a little surprise ending I did for this. What's up, Wes? Man, it's pretty cool. I got 30 people in here. That's nice. Awesome. Yeah, give or take. But anyway, we're gonna go on with a few cool things. All right. I remember the shape, the general shape of the space shuttle. It looked like a blunt brick with some like illusion type things of wings, if you want to call them wings. It looks like freaking garbage. But yeah, we're going to talk about some other planes that actually did fly and did achieve the things they're talking about. So here we go. All right. And off to the races. This guy. The SR-71 Blackbird, one of the most famous planes that we all know about whenever we reference to, top speed. These guys were mostly comprised of titanium. They flew at, I believe, Mach 3.2, Mach 3.3. These things were insanely fast, really freaking cool. I actually learned some extra little fun notes about this guy. You know how you see it when it's and it's on the tarmac and everything, and it's like leaking and everything like that? There's a reason for that. It has slip joints on it to deal with the stretch and the high speeds and the temperatures and all that is just extending on the plane, and it's got slip joints basically reinforced in between to keep everything. So it seals as it increases in speed. So that's why it leaks when it flies, or when it's not flying. When it's not flying, it is leaking. These things were insanely fast. What else is going to go up on about this guy? This allegedly, it flew like 70,000 feet up, Mach 3.3. I mean, look at this guy. It looks like something out of Star Wars being assembled here, right? It's kind of funny. Pretty cool though. But yeah, these things flew. Fly over Mach 3. But look how streamlined it is. And only Mach 3.3. Yeah, expanded several inches. So fuselage panels were managed loosely. So yeah, there we go. The acquisition of titanium. Titanium is, it is light, it is strong, it's very heat resistant. It works. But yeah, again, streamlined design. Streamlined. And only 3.3. And that flying brick, that thing that here, a little, portable charger. Yeah, a battery bank has about the same aerodynamics as that space shuttle. Okay, this is the garbage they're putting out. So that's one of these guys. These things, it was like a combination of a ramjet, turbojet. It had various inlets and this and that were that could move during operations during flight. This thing also, it took off with like half the fuel capacity and had to be refueled once it was in the air to deal with the pressures of the tire pressures and everything, so everything would work in synchronicity when it landed and everything like that. And it filled with nitrogen, and it was also doubled that of like a commercial airliner. And to give you perspective, your average tire pressures in your, like, say your average car about 32 or so, give or take. Big trucks up to 100. Your commercial airliner is about 200 or so. And that of the SR-71, it was double that. It was about 400. I think it showed some of it. Maybe not. I swear there was some talking about it. No, this is all references. Anywho, and let's see what else. Oh yeah, fine. Here we go. It's in this. Ha ha ha. But anyway, yeah, skin temperature is extremely high. Nice little CGI garbage. That's why they heated up. Many parts reach 400 to 500 degrees. Well, if you counteract the curvature of the helmet, you would have a flat horizon right there. Comprised mostly of titanium. We just discussed that. Titanium alloy, yeah, corrosion, blah, blah, blah. So like I said right here, fueled in the air before emission. So at least on this thing, it at least seems plausible that most of the fuel is right behind aft of the cockpit. All right. Things are insane. Here we go. The tires. Tires filled with nitrogen. The cell bead sealed. 415 psi. That is. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Commercial airliner is 200 pounds per square inch. This thing is 400. That is insane. Imagine. I hate to be the guy airing that sucker up and it explodes, right? It's freaking nuts. Here it is getting refueled by a KC-135, basically aka a militarized DC-10 with fuel bladders inside. So that's all of that. And next one we have is the X-15. This thing, for the most part, is the highest and fastest piloted aircraft. I mean, it's basically it's a rocket engine strapped on with little wings. Sorry, I said strap on there. Anyway, yeah, that goes into that stream. But basically, it's a rocket attached to a little bit of a cockpit and some stumpy wings, and it flew at Mach 6.7. That's insane. And you're probably wondering, what the fuck is it attached to? Well, that is attached to a B-52. That's how it was predominantly launched. They just slid it underneath the engine, strapped, got it all locked in, and took off. And flying at 4,500 miles per hour. That is insane. But again, look how it is designed. It is streamlined. It's like looks like a really big missile which a human can actually fit in. That's basically what it is. It would fly, it would reach, accelerate, it'd be dropped off, accelerate, and it would go like a freaking rocket. I guess there was like a scene of allegedly what this is all about in First Man. I stumbled across that in the research, unfortunately. By the way, fuck that noise. We never went to the moon. Yeah, so North American Aviation constructed that. This thing also, you know, allegedly was the first quote-unquote plane in space because it breached the proverbial Kármán line of 62 miles or 60 miles, whatever on that range, because there's 60 kilometers, right? Yeah, this thing is insane. Yeah, you got the deceivers, the X-15 pilots. Well, they're not deceivers; they're just good old boys who want to fly. Yeah, one of these guys. I swear to God, he did. No, they said Neil Armstrong flew on it. There was a couple of crashes with this plane, but again, it launched from B-52. Let's see. It launched like 45,000 feet up, and then it would climb and climb and climb. This thing actually, like I said, 67 kilometers is the highest. Here we go. Flights 90 and Flight 91 of these flights they conducted with these things, piloted by Joseph A. Walker, reached 65 miles up, 67 miles up about a month later. That's high. Good day, Zal. That's quite high, I'd say. But it also got the records here, the 4,500 miles an hour. Only, 19 miles up. Oh darn, crazy. Either way, you're still effing high, and guess what? It was still effing flat. This is like over here we go. Service ceiling 354,000 feet up. Now, I think we've all seen that meme that show like a little flat earth depiction with the dome over it. I think we've all seen that. They talk about how in the 1958 encyclopedia, how there's an 18,000-foot dome at 80 degrees south latitude. So I guess if you exponentially constructed a dome structure, that it would be around 365,000. So basically, this guy's almost skimming on the firmament. If it's so, it is happening like they say it is. Who knows? Pretty cool though. And here's another one, another crazy experimental plane, the Bell XB or the XB-70 Valkyrie. This was designed to be a supersonic bomber, strategic bomber. This thing was a beast. This thing freaking looks badass, honestly, too. But it was a fail to fly. It did fly like a Mach 3.2. But this thing was plagued with problems, especially during some test flights and a big ass midair collision. Yeah, here we go. All right. I should have a picture that happens a little bit prior to this. With the aerofoils, the wings on it, thing was cool. Like it flapped down, vertical, some extra canards in the front. Thing just beefy looking, just really cool and intimidating. I don't know. They're just a little plain nerd like that. But here's one parked at Everett Air Force Base in 1967. Experimental bomber, blah blah blah. And I think it's freaking monstrosity. 74,000 feet on March 19th, 1966. Fastest flight. 2020. What a wonderful year that was. Total Mach 3 minutes, 108 and 10 flights. Sustained Mach 3 for 32 minutes. Pretty cool. Anyway, so incidents and accidents. Here, like I said, here's an aviation formation flight. Took place in June 8th, 1966. F-104, the red tails, the second plane from the right. That guy. So what happened is this guy flew into here. And this was the result. Yeah, the F-104 exploded. The S-15 missing one of its vertical stabilizers. And everyone else had to break formation. And that was a shit show, I'm sure. What was this guy? Yeah, again, another shot. I mean, it looked cool as hell. I mean, these are your F-104. That's what it is. The training planes you usually see flying alongside the space shuttle, and usually any military parade type shit. Yeah. So there's that. And so I wanted to finish this off with a little bit of humor because, well, alongside the fact of me trying to not laugh at the fact that the space shuttle is utterly and entirely ridiculous to all lengths and reaches, we're going to talk about our favorite astronaut, the one, the only, Don Pettit. Yes. I learned some things about him too. You know, the fact that, well, he's an old motherfucker. He's 66, born on 4/20, 1955. God. He is an American chemical engineer. Wow. And a NASA astronaut. He's not only just an astronaut. He is one shuttle mission and a 6-week expedition to find meteorites in Antarctica. Yeah, I guess he did some time in Antarctica as well. He's a career astronaut. Yay! He science the shit out of stuff. Yeah, here he is. He was raised in Silverton, Oregon. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, here we go. He earned his bachelor's degree in chemical engineering from Oregon State in 1978 and a doctoral degree from the University of Arizona. So he's a doctor of chemical engineering. I don't know how well that's going to work in space, but whatever. Here he is, apparently in the swimming pool. Oh, yes. This guy, Captain, I go to the moon in a nanosecond, but we don't have we used that technology, but we destroyed it. The autistic astronaut, the most commonly used example of retardation, as I could see in military intelligence. Yeah. That makes so much sense, right? Military intelligence. Oh God. He did some inventions and innovations. Let's check this shit out. During his Expedition 6 in 2002 and 2003, Pettit used spare parts found throughout the station to construct a barn door tracker. Device compensates for the movement of the ISS relative to the Earth's surface, permitting super sharp resolution images of city lights. Oh, thank God. NASA has an answer for everything pertaining to why we're seeing what we're seeing when they're doing these alleged pictures of Earth from space. Oh, God. Oh, and he demonstrates microgravity using characters from Angry Birds. Yes, we've reached these levels, these pivotal levels of science. Fucking science with this retard. You got an Angry Bird, and you have a fucking green pig balloon. My God. Antarctica. Yeah, this is an interesting thing. I didn't know about that. Collecting meteorite samples. Wonder if it was that blue ice stuff that you keep talking about that could be pieces of the firmament. Who knows? Magnetic meteorites. Huh, maybe some magnetite for all I know. But anyway, what I wanted to get into was the fact of Don Pettit. We understand that he's retarded, or at least plays the part very, very well. But we all know about all the alleged applicants to become a NASA scientist, right? Or not NASA scientist, NASA astronaut, right? All the hoops and hurdles they have to go through, and the amount of applicants versus the ratio of, God damn it, yeah, they have a freaking, oh, you're going to have to be an astronaut. Okay, sure. No, thank you. So there's thousands of applicants. Okay, thousands. Maybe during Don Pettit, he said he's been in since he was 90. He was what did they fuck? Yeah. Oh, this guy. Oh, he has twin sons, so I'm sure those probably grow up to be astronauts one day or another, right? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, he was selected. He was selected as an astronaut. You know, he said, you know what? You're the right stuff. When I think of the right stuff, I think of Don Pettit. Give me a break. He's a fucking clown. A clown. Clown at best. He was selected to be an astronaut. This man beat out roughly, okay, so it was a 96, maybe 8,000 maybe total applicants. But now we have up to, like, here we go, 18,300 idiots. I mean, people applied to join NASA's 2017 aquatics class, their astronaut class, I'm sorry. Here they are in the pool, you know, getting their astronaut training because water pressure is much more relatable to the 10 to the -17 torr vacuum. This is retarded. Okay, so we got to put this in perspective here, all right? This is the comedy that we're going to embrace ourselves with here. So we have this jackknob, Don Pettit, beating out 4,000 other potential applicants to be 4,000 to 6,000 applicants to be a astronaut, to be a professional liar to some, you know, those who are brainwashed by the bullshit system here of them swimming in a swimming pool. God, so ridiculous, so retarded. So 1 in 4,000, Mr. Don Pettit. So there's allegedly 4,000 to 6,000 people who are more retarded than him roaming the streets. That is a very dangerous situation right now. Now we get into the even more tedious, saddening, disheartening information here that we need to know about Don Pettit. He not only beat out 4,000 to 6,000 other applicants, he also beat out 250 fucking million other sperms. He was the winner. He was the best, the fastest, the strongest sperm of his father that made it to the egg that raced after the. This guy beat out all these guys and all these applicants to be a swimmer, to be a liar, to be a deceiver. And he's a shit-ass, half-ass actor at best. Oh my effing God. Are we getting this here yet? Ooh, we got 33 in chat. I'm beside myself right now. I'm speechless, honestly, to think that not only is this guy beating out all these other applicants from all over the United States who want to become a astronaut, actor, whatever, swimmer, professional diver, whatever it is, he beat out that many sperm. He was the best and the brightest of what his dad could produce at that time. During that wonderful, let's see, he was born in April, so he was conceived, what, August? Lucky us. Who cares? Anyway, I'm going to go and say hi, y'all, and this and that throughout all this, just to show some love here. I miss everybody. I love everybody. You know, I know it's been a long time since I actually streamed. I want to do more because I'm finding more and more open and awake people at my own work, which is great because it's the only thing keeping me sane right now these days. Oh yeah, forgot this guy. Good old Tom Buddhist. Badass. Got Salted Cedar. Got Chiquita. Hell yeah. Yeah. All these great people. Sue, even. Fuck. I love Sue. Sue's the best. So is Paul. Because a lot of you guys I've actually met in person, which makes everything great. I'm just going to stop hitting that guy. There we go. What if I've actually agreed? Got plants. Yes, exactly. It basically does. I know. I kind of wish I had. Next time I do a stream, something like this, I need to try and get Ball DD on here because I need his laughter in this because I can't produce the kind of laughter. I was trying to get myself all ready and jived and ready to rock. But I don't have that kind of laugh on command, even though I love his laugh. We all know it's the most contagious laugh in freaking all of this community. Best freaking tribe ever, right? You guys are awesome. You keep me sane. So my goal is to maybe potentially, I'm going to go see about this gal at work. I opened up to her about, but she's talking about, when the masks come off, and I was telling her about how, I get kicked out of certain places here and there. Not too much, but I told her I don't wear a mask outside of what I'm doing here. I mean, I wear a balaclava. If you want to call it a mask, fine, fuck it, call it whatever it is. I need to make a living here. I don't have the cool ass computer skills to start shit, do any of that kind of crap. I'd like to, sure. But in the meantime, I got to work, and it pays decently. So we have that. I might start up an Etsy shop so I can try and get rid of some of these extra loofah seats, all 3,000 I might have. So I'll let you know more about that later. I need to do another exercise, fitness, health, nutritional type stream. This time, I never Rose saying she was interested in doing that, so that'd be kind of cool. Can't be stylish. Trying to share this shit. Yeah. Oh, God. Right? Thanks, Flatpack Music. Badass. Got the truth. Oh, alien seeds are animals. No, yeah. No, I got my loofah seeds. That's all I got going. I'm sorry. Nothing really cool. But you know what? My loofahs are growing, and I need to do a stream about that, I guess, so I can kind of do a 2-for-1 kind of a deal here, educate, inform, give you some basics on the gardening of how to do it with these guys if you're interested in loofahs, because they're bass sponges. Bass loofahs you buy at the store are freaking outrageous. I look at all like Etsy and this and that, they're insanely expensive. But I'm going off tangent here. I just basically wanted to end it, but I wanted to end on good terms. I want to try and get some people. Oh, we got Eric Duleon. Yes, all right, got his name pronounced right. He always been saying it in my head for like the last year wrong. So, space for space trims, of course they are. So they're fixing it. Yeah, they're getting better. But everybody's here. I'm happy that everyone joined me for this hour and a half rant or so of watching bullshit spaceness. But yeah, I actually opened up to a lady about the mask thing and other stuff that before I say anything else, make sure to follow the guidelines of the WHO and the CDC because they care about you, they love you, and they are your friends because government loves you and always has, right? Go establishment. But anyway, so going off about that, and she's like, when it comes off, I'm like, it ain't. It's all part of the program. It accentuates from that. It's going to get uglier before it gets better. And unfortunately, people don't understand their own power, and we need to rise up from this shit. And then it kind of escalated and talked a little bit about Mandela. Actually, the thing that she was really intrigued by was the fact that I was talking about Georgia Guidestones. She's like, you're the second person this week to talk about it. I'm like, yeah, I've been there. It's freaking evil. But anyway, love you guys. I will give you updates. I will do more shit. I'll try to be more frequent about it. So take care. See ya. Alrighty.